Okay guys, I'm back. And now guys, I am absolutely excited because guys, it is now finally time for me to review for you guys Godzilla and Kong the New Empire, Suko with Titanus Doug. I am very excited for this and I know I'm going to enjoy doing this video and I'm going to have fun reviewing these guys because once again, when I first got the first two figures back in March and I saw that these two were in the collection, this was the one that I just had to get my hands on most, and I finally got it. Once again, I was very happy when I finally found it at Fred Meyer a few days ago. So yeah, and now we can finally review it. So let's get to it. Of course, first things first, we're going to take a look at the packaging. So of course, we do have the open packaging here. Of course, we got the two figures. They look absolutely phenomenal. Got Monsterverse right there. Warning choking hazard right there. Godzilla and Kong the New Empire. And of course, we could see it more clearly considering these two figures are smaller. Have some lightning right there, hollow earth crystals, Godzilla and Kong right there, Suko with Titanus Doug, of course, everything else down there. Got Godzilla and Kong right here on the other side, Godzilla and Kong the New Empire. Here is the back. Of course, it shows the figures right here, Suko, Titanus Doug. As you can see, Suko is holding the rock. It says fully articulated and posable. That's pretty cool. There's Monsterverse right there. Godzilla and Kong the New Empire. And of course, since this is the one that I've been most excited to get, I'm going to read this and then this. So yeah, Godzilla and Kong return an all-new adventure, pitting the almighty Kong and the fearsome Godzilla against a colossal undiscovered threat hidden within our world, challenging their very existence and our own. I see. Then of course, once again, Suko Titanus Doug. Don't let his size fool you. Suko is a scrappy fighter and a raw primal strength and a bad attitude who always has Kong's back. That is very cool. So of course, here's the rest of the collection. Of course, we got Godzilla with He-Ray and Godzilla Evolved, both of which we've already reviewed. We have Kong with Beast Glove and the Scar King with the Whip Slash. We already reviewed this one, and we opened up this one in the previous video. So now, just gotta get Shimo with Frostbite, which hopefully I find soon. Then I'll have all the figures of 6-inch from the first wave. So yeah. Anyways, on the side here, more hollow earth crystals. Suko with Titanus Doug. And yeah, now I'm gonna cut the camera. I'm gonna open this up and then we'll get right to it. Okay guys, I'm back and I finally got Suko and Titanus Doug out of the packaging. And I absolutely love these figures. They are quite good. And yeah, finally get to review them. So I'm gonna set my camera down. Let's see. Okay. We're gonna talk about Suko first. So here, of course, we have Suko. Really like this little guy. He is quite adorable. Adorable, but fierce at the same time, of course, because, of course, can't let his small size fool you. So yeah, of course, you got his face right there. He's got a younger ape face, of course. Let's see. Of course, his... Man, my camera does not want to focus. Of course, he's got his mouth is closed, of course. Can't see any teeth. He does have his green eyes right there, which I think are pretty cool. He's got the little scar right there, just like in the movie. I'm sure you can see it. All this brown fur paint texture on him. I really like it. And yeah, not really much else to say, I don't think, for detail. Just really cool brown paint, cool fur texture. Here's how he looks from the back. It's really cool. And yeah, let's talk about articulation. So for a smaller figure, this guy has some crazy good articulation, and he may be smaller, but believe it or not, this little guy actually has more articulation than Kong and Scar King. So yeah, first up, his head can move from side to side. Can it move up and down a bit? I suppose it could move up and down slightly. I don't know, but I can move from side to side. It can also do a 360, I believe. Yes, it can. His head can turn 360, which I really like. He has articulation at the waist, too, which I really like. And it can do a 360, just like that. Very nice. Of course, he can move, his arms can move back and forth. They can do a 360. And so can this arm, just like that. and he can also bend at the elbows, and they can swivel like that. Yep, this elbow can also bend, it can also swivel, as you can see. And he can turn at the wrists too. They can both do a good 360. Same with this one. Nice. And of course, he does have articulation of the legs. His legs can swivel, just like that. He can bend at the knees, about that much, as you can see. And his legs can go back and forth about that much. Same with this leg, as you can see. And this is how he has more articulation than Scar King and Kong. He can articulate at the ankles, just like Godzilla. And yeah, they can do a 360, as you can see. Same with this ankle. And yeah, I'm really impressed how they were able to get all this good articulation on this one little guy. So yeah, that's very nice. Anyways, moving on from Suko, let's talk about the accessory that he comes with. Of course, we have this rock that he throws. Of course, the part where he throws this rock is in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler. And of course, there's not a part on the rock for him to grip on. You just got to carefully place it in his hand. I thought maybe he could grip on a specific part, but apparently not. But I don't know if it's for all figures, but it's easy for me to get him to hold on to the rock. And yeah, I think it's pretty cool. So anyways, now it's time to talk about Titanus Doug. So Titanus Doug here is pretty cool. Not a lot to say when it comes to detail, other than he's got all these spikes on him. He's got his jaws and teeth right there. His eyes are like gray, as you can see. He's got claws and everything, and there's his underbelly. And yeah, I want to say this Titanus Doug is supposed to be like a younger version of Godzilla, I think. Maybe, I wonder. Is this how Godzilla looked when he was still really young? Not sure. But anyways, for articulation, his head can move quite a bit. His head can move quite a bit like that. His jaw is not articulated, though it looks like it should be, but I will. His legs can move. Can they do a 360? Yes, they can. This leg can do a 360. Quite sure this leg can too. Yep, yes it can. This leg can move 360. And for his hind legs, I think they can do a 360. Yes, they can. 360 movement on the hind legs as well, which I really like. And so, yeah, very, very nice. And we have articulation in the tail. His tail's on a ball joint, and it can spin 360. So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool figures. And yeah, anyways, for some quick figure comparisons, let's compare Suko to his buddy, Kong. So yeah, Suko is like half the size of Kong. I believe Suko is more of like a 3-inch figure. I want to say Titanus Doug is more of like just 1 inch, I believe. But still, pretty cool. There he is compared to Kong. Now let's compare him. Hold up. Let's compare him to our Scar King that we reviewed in the previous video. Also pretty much half the size of Scar King, as you can see. So pretty cool. Glad they scaled this down to accurate size, because it would definitely be awkward and probably not right to make him a 6-inch figure, considering he's a smaller guy, but yeah. And real quick, let's compare Titanus Doug to the Godzilla with the heat ray. And I think you can see why part of me thinks that maybe Godzilla looked like this when he was younger. So yeah. And one more figure comparison. Let's compare him to our evolved Godzilla. So of course he's gonna look more different considering he's evolved. This guy's pretty much not, but yeah, very nice. Anyways, we're gonna keep our evolved Godzilla right here because now I'm gonna bring in all the other figures. So got Suko and Titanus Doug with that rock. Let's see. yeah, I'll just have our 6-inch Godzilla like that. Bring in our other 6-inch Godzilla. Put him right here. Then let's bring in Kong. And then lastly, hold up. Let's give Kong that heave just real quick. And then last but certainly not least, let's bring in Scar King. If I can find room for him, which I should be able to. Yeah, just like that. Now let's see if I can get them all on camera here. Gonna scoot back just a bit. And yeah, so these are all the 6-inch figures I have so far. Once again, just gotta find the 6-inch Shimo, and then I'll have all 6 of the 6-inch figures from the first wave. So yeah, guys, I hope you like this, and I will see you guys tomorrow when I finally review that giant radio remote control Godzilla. Very excited for that, and so yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow.